Hey there, what's up internet? My name is BlackLightAttack, playing some more Black Ops 2 on the PC. Got two more free-for-all games, which I have, once again, unceremoniously smashed together into a Frankenstein hybrid monster commentary thing. And the first game is using the Scorpion with no attachments because I was working on some camos. Once again, came close to a perfect free-for-all and fucked it up. But, actually I have had a perfect free-for-all. One perfect free-for-all in my entire career, and of course theater mode didn't save it, and I don't care enough about this game to record while I'm playing. So, if I have a good game, I'll just grab it off theater mode if it actually appears, and commentate that if I feel like it. And maybe that'll change once I get my capture card. But second game, I decided to grab a riot shield, go into free for all, and just goof off because I needed another gameplay, and I knew that would be entertaining no matter what happened, because nobody's gonna give a shit about your KD when you're using a riot shield. That's a YouTube tricks and tips with BlackLightAttack. Nobody's going to care about your KD if you're using a gimmick. So, fuck effort. Anyway, so I told you guys that I would be keeping you guys up to date with what was happening with the partnership on my channel. Let you know, I put up a video. I'll put a link in the description of the video, but I announced around late November that I was leaving my partner network TGN. So I guess I'll just start at the beginning. Back in the beginning, when I had about 2,000 subscribers, I was contacted by a network called TGN, which was a slightly budding network called the Games Network, and they offered me some money to upload my videos. And things over time sort of went sour with them. I wasn't agreeing with the direction they were moving in. They got rid of the only person who was keeping me there. So I, of course, decided to leave, and it's only just now that I'm getting a partnership back. So the first thing I did after I left TGN was I applied to the Maker Studios network, which is TGS, the game station, and they basically emailed me back with, no, you can't join TGS, but you can join our new network, RPM, which checking it out was a network for upstart channels that need to grow their viewer base, which I'm not arguing that my channel could use some growth, but looking at it, it was a bunch of like 300, 400 subscriber guys, which there's no problem with being a 300, 400 subscriber YouTuber, but these were people that I could definitely see were not putting any effort into being a good YouTuber, whether it be due to lack of interest, just uploading for goofy shits and giggles, or if they are trying really hard and just sucked at it, or just had the wrong idea of what makes a good video. I don't know, but looking at it, it was just, there was a really blatant lack of quality anywhere, and it was just something I didn't want to put my name on. I did not want to be associated with a network of that sort of talent, and that sounds a bit snooty of me, but you guys know that I definitely consider myself a hard-working video editor, and I try to put a lot of effort into my videos, and I take this pretty seriously. So I didn't want my name on that. I definitely appreciate the need for such a network to try to improve the quality of videos, of channels like that, but I found the offer slightly insulting for that reason. Not that there were actually a few people who definitely did make good videos, and maybe, I don't know, just were in the same boat as me, where they were kind of big, but not that big, and could definitely use some better exposure. One of them actually jumped up, like, he was the only other person on the network when I was offered the partnership, who was the same size that I was, about 12,000 subscribers. And I've only gained about 1,000 or 1,500 since then, about 1,000. And he's since gained like 5,000. So I don't know if that has anything to do with RPM getting his name out there, if he's like their star child, or if he got a shout out from somebody. Whatever happened, good for him. But I declined their offer. And the reason that TGS was my first choice was just I'd heard very good things about how they treat their partners. Their partnership program is supposed to be really well handled, really well managed, great partner support, good payouts, stuff like that. But they said no, and I didn't want to stamp my channel with this RPM thing. So I went to, of course, the next guy's Machinima. And my main mistake was not submitting the applications to both those networks at the same time, because that ended up making the process so much longer, and this actually ended up dragging into the winter holidays, so it ended up taking a lot longer than it needed to be, because of course nobody was in the office to handle these sort of requests during the holiday. So that was unfortunate, but eventually somebody did get back to me, and now I have to say there's been a lot of controversy lately surrounding Machinima about lock-in contracts and partner support and quality of their videos, and it's all things that I am noticing them taking steps to change. And I have to say I'm pretty lucky with my timing here, because I'm coming on to Machinima just at the time that they're getting a lot of controversy for like a locking contract and how they treat their partners, and they seem to be making an effort to the contrary, to try to turn that around. And I definitely received the brunt of that new movement, which was awesome, because my experience with them was nothing but pleasant. And everybody got back to me relatively quickly, definitely much more quickly than I had expected based on what I'd heard. And the people that I dealt with were super friendly and very helpful. And I have to say, there was even one part, Rishi, who is the head of partner support. He was fantastic. He's actually Scott's roommate, and they sent me a contract. I read over it. I always read every contract I sign. You know, I wasn't about to get locked into a permanent contract or anything, which wasn't even a term, so no worries. And I ended up misinterpreting one of the clauses, and I asked somebody about it. They said, yeah, it's not the way you read it. It's actually the other way. It's legal mumbo jumbo. I can't go into detail, I'm sorry, but basically it wouldn't have been that big a deal if it had been a permanent mistake on my part, because it's a part of YouTube that I don't really delve into much. So it wouldn't really have been a big deal. But basically I emailed Rishi and was like, hey, I kind of screwed up something on my contract, and I would really like to reverse that. I know that it's a legally binding thing. I know I signed it, but is there anything you can do for me? And with no questions asked, they voided the contract, sent me a new one, and you know, with a revision, and we got it all squared away. So yeah, legally they could have held me to it and said, no, we have your signature, you're ours, bitch, and they absolutely did not do that. So anybody who's worried about Machinima, you know, screwing me over, you know, I can look out for myself, and it's not something that you should worry about, because so far everything has been just great. Finally, you know, there's a long process when it comes to getting partnered with Machinima, which isn't true of smaller networks, because they just have so many that they need to get to. But everything finally went through, and now you may have noticed that the ads are back on my channel. I never stopped uploading because I thought that would be incredibly unfair to you guys. I didn't know how long it would be until I got a partnership again, and I didn't want to keep you guys waiting. You know, I'm not the sort of person to be like, well, I don't do shit for free, and you know, just because I got paid for it in the past. I started this out making no money off it, and not ever expecting to make any money off it. And I don't enjoy it any less than I enjoy it more than I did 2 years ago when I first started. So of course I wasn't going to stop uploading. I thought that was very important to keep you guys here, because if I just disappeared for 2 months, for a month and a half, that would have been detrimental to both of us. When I came back, nobody would be around. You guys would have been a month and a half without me. I would have been a month and a half without you guys, and when I came back, you guys wouldn't be interested anymore, because that's how YouTube works. It's the internet. Everybody has a very short attention span. You just can't do that shit. You notice people who take long breaks for whatever reason, sickness, school, they come back and they may have had a big fan base to begin with, but they have a real hard time building that back. So it was a lose-lose if I stopped uploading videos, but you know, so I kept with it the whole time, and I thought that was very important. And now we're back, and I've got me some ads on my videos, which is nice, making a little bit of change on the side. I hope you guys don't mind the ads coming back. I'm sure you enjoyed the ad-free shit for a while. I know I would have, but turn off the ad block. What are you doing, son? And I have to say, I'm pretty happy to be part of Machinima, because like I said before, you know, there's just so much that has gone good in the short time that I've dealt with the folks at Machinima, and I feel like they're really turning over a new leaf. You know, they stopped uploading just any old thing to Respawn, and they're doing the team Respawn now, where everything's developed in house, and it's just really freaking funny. And yeah, I think it's gonna be, you know, well, time will tell how great a thing it actually is. But and it's not like TGN, because I'm not uploading to Machinima's channel. I'm just gonna be sitting here doing my thing like I always have done, and if anything, it's just make things easier for me. So hope you guys are well informed. If you have any more questions, if I can answer it, I will in the comments. Go ahead and ask. And yeah, guess I'm with Machinima now. Yay!